The notion that scientists and mainstream media are lying to us about climate change has become a popular conspiracy theory in recent years. While this claim may seem far-fetched to some, it is essential to examine the potential motivations and biases that could be driving this perceived deception. To begin with, it is crucial to understand that climate change is a complex and multifaceted issue that involves various stakeholders, including governments, corporations, and individuals. The science behind climate change is clear. Human activities, such as burning fossil fuels and deforestation, are releasing massive amounts of greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide and methane, into the atmosphere, leading to a global average temperature increase of over 1 degree C since the late 19th century. However, the way this information is presented to the public can be misleading, and this is where the perceived deception comes in. One reason for this could be the influence of special interest groups, such as fossil fuel companies, that have a vested interest in downplaying the severity of climate change. These groups have been known to fund research that casts doubt on the science behind climate change, and some have even gone as far as to manipulate public opinion through disinformation campaigns. Mainstream media outlets, which often rely on advertising revenue from these same companies, may be hesitant to report on the full extent of climate change, lest they risk losing valuable advertisers. Another reason for the perceived deception could be the fear of economic disruption. Implementing policies to mitigate climate change, such as transition to renewable energy sources and increasing energy efficiency, can be costly and may require significant changes to our current economic systems. Governments and corporations may be hesitant to take bold action on climate change, as it could lead to short-term economic losses and disruptions of industries that rely heavily on fossil fuels. This fear can lead to a watering down of the science, with some politicians and media outlets downplaying the urgency of the issue or emphasizing the potential economic costs of taking action. Furthermore, the complexity of climate change science can also contribute to the perceived deception. Climate models, which are used to predict future climate scenarios, are inherently uncertain and can be influenced by various factors, including the quality of data used and the assumptions made. This uncertainty can be seized upon by skeptics to cast doubt on the entire fields of climate science. Additionally, the media's tendency to sensationalize and simplify complex issues can lead to misinformation and a lack of nuance in the public discourse on climate change. It is also worth noting that the climate change debate has become increasingly polarized, with some individuals and groups taking a strongly partisan approach to the issue. This polarization can lead to a breakdown in trust and a lack of civil discourse, which can further exacerbate the perceived deception. Some politicians and media outlets may be more interested in scoring political points or attracting viewers than in providing accurate and unbiased information on climate change. Despite these potential motivations for deception, it is essential to recognize that the overwhelming majority of climate scientists agree that human-caused climate change is real and poses a significant threat to our planet. The evidence for climate change is clear, and the need for urgent action to mitigate its effects is becoming increasingly pressing. Rather than resorting to conspiracy theories, we should be working to build a more nuanced and informed public discourse on climate change, one that acknowledges the complexities and uncertainties of the issue while also recognizing the urgent need for action. By doing so, we can work towards a more sustainable and equitable future for all, and ensure that the science behind climate change is presented in a clear and unbiased manner. Ultimately, it is up to us as individuals to seek out accurate information, to support media outlets and politicians that prioritize truth and transparency, and to demand action from our leaders to address the climate crisis.